everybody. Welcome back to a new week, new call with the community. Apologies for the no camera. Actually, I'm at an event in another city, so a lot of moving. But I could not miss this call again. Doman unfortunately could not join us. He had some emergency come up, sadly. But we always look forward to having him here and hearing his insights. But as you always know, he's always giving it his 100% in the background and working hard to bring things your way. For those of you that are new here and don't know me, my name is Mustafa. I'm from Zignally. We are FinUp's partner, and we are always working together to, bring stuff to this platform and make your lives better. Our goal and vision is to make this platform a one-stop shop for financial products where you don't have to go anywhere. Usually I always do a showcase of the platform. Unfortunately today, because I don't have my laptop on me, I won't be able to do that. But there's recordings of all the previous calls, as well as there's tutorials on how to use the platform. Currently, last week I showed you guys how there were some new added features, and I always tell you that to be part of the Telegram group, because that's where alpha is laid out, as in what's coming, what's new, and how you guys can play with the things that are out there that are new. Anyway, I have been working very closely with the FinUp team to bring the tokenized products to you guys. We were actually partaking in a really cool event, which was all about institutional investments. And I can tell you this, that the institutional demand for tokenized products is crazy right now. I'll tell you a bit more about this, then I will hand it over, like Doman always says, to the Steve Jobs of trading, which has been doing phenomenally well over the past few weeks, because there's obviously a lot of volatility, but I will let him tell you more about it shortly. Now, updates from my end, as into what we are working on, what we are doing, what we are trying our best to bring to you guys, is a tokenized index. So this is going to include a lot of different things basketed into one, so you as investors won't have to be overwhelmed with a lot of decision making. Rather, you can benefit of many different products in one, and it's really cool because it's going to have a mix of stablecoin yield, gold index, Magnificent 7, and a few other things. We're gonna have launched more tokenized indexes as time goes on, but we're working. The dev team we're almost there. We should go live very soon. So yeah, that's new from my end. Unfortunately, I do not have more new things to share for you, but that's kind of good, so that way we're not dropping everything at the same time. Things always unravel the way they need to, or they want to, in timely manner. So that's going to come to you soon. Now, I would like to pass the floor to Mr. Sven or his team. I'm not able to see who's who else is from his team is here. But yes, I give the floor to you to update us on what's going on and what's new from your end.
All right, thank you. Let me start directly going into the trading. So let's go into the market first. 1 second. I have to share my screen differently. 1 second. Can I share all? Yeah. So. Okay, so let's look into the chart. I choose now AVAX. Cryptos in general very correlated. So if the market goes up, all goes up. If the market goes down, all goes down. In between, it can be a bit different. But as you see, more or less, all behaves like that. AVAX is one of our important pairs because here we're making the most profits. Here we're taking the most risks. And you see, this is a chart for our chart, so this is quite a big time frame. So we're looking what happens here on the macro area. So also on the trading side, currently the strategy is focusing on macro trends, and we performed in the last weeks good here. So we had a downtrend, we catch that good, it made a 10%. then when the trades are closed, right? So the thing is, when we open a trade, we are setting the risk that we cannot lose more than 1% of our equity in this trade, for example, or not more than 0.2%, depending on the risk settings. So of course, we're taking maybe a position or size of our, or half of our size of our equity. So this means when we go here into a short and price moves up here like 3-4%, our trade getting closed and we're going into a stop. So this means if we here open trades, what usually algo is doing permanently, trying to find the right place. When the algo says yes, you should go inside. So then can happen that this trade getting closed. But when we then somewhere here hitting a short, we can ride the short till down. So even though let's say we go here, because we have then more equity. So this means like the trade is already in profit and it's risking some percent of its profits in order to not getting closed directly. Otherwise, if we would risk only like 0.5% of the portfolio, you would get closed permanently because you see the movements are a couple percent every couple hours. So this means that when we open a trade at the beginning, it's always a bit like difficult. When the trade starts to go into profit, we can ride this wave, and then we're trying to find the best mathematical model to ride this wave. And we made it in kind of this phase. It worked very well. And then somewhere here, around here, the trades got closed. We had a profit. And then we entered last week into this phase. And as you can see, it's like a sideways phase. And this is usually a bit like difficult. And as you can see, we go here up, down, like always like a couple percent. I can check it like here from the size. So it's like 4%, like we're moving like 5% every couple hours up and down. And of course, when we open a trade here and then we go up, this trade gets closed. When we then go up go for a long trade, and this gets closed here. Then we go for a short trade and this closed here. So this, as you can see, like last week, it was a bit difficult because we had such very difficult phase. Then we entered again like a short phase. We made like at the end of last week some kind of recovery as the trades then kind of here got closed. But of course, we want to have like a more long move. Best case, our move, so our position is holding over a couple of weeks. In average, the position should hold for 17 days. So what then happened at the end of last week and beginning of this week, we started to accumulate a new direction in our trades, which are long trades. And of course, now we have a good unrealized profit. And now, of course, we hope that this counter trend will go to some good areas. So we started to accumulate profits, but the profits are not yet realized. And we need to have these profits on the trade, that if we now, as you can see now in the last hours, our longs went up. So now let's go to the trades better. So let's go to the position of where is it? AVEX. Yes, AVEX. We have a $25,000 here in profit, $25,500. So we somewhere opened here the trade. So we're riding now this, and we continue open maybe positions. So it can be that the position accumulate. Now we have like 30,000 AVEX, a couple $100,000, but it can be that we get like another 20,000 or 30,000 on top in the next couple of days. And of course, now what happens if we go down? It doesn't matter, our trade not get closed because we have like a floating balance. It's reduced the floating profit, but like you cannot, if you go for a long like a trade to go in a couple of days, you cannot catch every move here and there. So we hope that this trend now continues. So if we now, so as you can see, we have like a lot of long positions now in the portfolio. There are like a couple short positions, but they're to ignore. The BNB short position is just to hold BNB, and at the same time, we have BNB in spot position, and we short BNB in order to have the VIP level to save a fee. So you can ignore that. And there's a one short position here, and here's like another short to another short position, one in profit, one like a neutral, but they're rather small. So our big position is like the 100 to 120 Ethereum and so on is like a good big position. The 1.5 million XLM is a good position, and the XLM position is now like 50,000 in profits. And of course, we have now a bit like a relief rally after the last weeks of counter trend, and we hope with our trades to ride this relief rally for quite a while. So let's go to the time frame. You see, we like kind of declined. Unfortunately, we declined a bit like with high volatility. Otherwise, the profits would be much higher. But you cannot change the statistics. And so now we hope that we, as higher we go, as better it is. But like maybe hit like this kind of level one more time before what I think the bear market continues, and that should bring us like a really good profit level. So like we should get like another 5 cent in best case, or maybe even like another 7 cent per XLM, and on 1.5 million, it's like quite a good return. Anyway, so what we're doing now here is trying to catch this trend and hope this trend continues, and here we can catch the volatility. Problematic, of course, are for us this kind of phase where we're losing money. But the problem is if the trend is finished, so we go out of position. So either it can be that we stay in position if it's only for some time, like here, right? We stay in position, but if the sideways move it goes too long, we at one point we're taking the profits and close the position, and then it's the algo trying to find the right place. And if it's have a lot of up and down for 1 week or so, of course, every day where we not have a direction, it costs us a bit of money. But due to risk management, we can kind of limit the risk. So when market not goes how we want, we don't lose like 20%, we lose like a couple percent, but it's kind of unfortunate. So the only thing what you could do here now, what is most traders are trying to do in such situation, which is a very bad idea, is to increase the risk per trade. So you could say like, okay, I want to here go now like a short, and then like instead of like 0.5% of the portfolio, I risk like 5%, because now you have like 5 trades. When 5 trades getting closed, you're losing 25%, right? Instead of 2.5%. So that's why must be very cautious, must be risk management. And of course, for the user who sees that, it's always a bit annoying because he see like portfolio declining, and then he not seeing portfolio growing, because as you can see here, we having a lot of unrealized profits. So like in this case, it's like 3-4% counting, and if the move goes up, it can easily be 10-20%, but only when the trades are getting closed, and we close them only at the end of the rally, we see the profits. So in this case, we looking every week what's going to happen and so on, but in this case, in best case, these trades continue for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the December until so we take like a good part of the profits. Anyway, we never know what's happening. So on the strategy side, what you can see is we have like more like long-term algorithms, and they should like in general work well, but when they don't work well, it takes some time to recovery. We had like short-term also algorithms, but here we had the issue that on October 10th, kind of our orders getting blocked. And so if you're making short-term trades of a couple of minutes and hours, we need to be very fast. And for the moment, we don't want to rely on Binance just for risk management. But we have other strategy which kind of can counter that, and we tested it for the last 4 weeks. So now we have to sort out a couple of things with Binance. And now you see some order coming in and getting filled and so on. So we it's actually one short getting got closed. So by the way, we try to apply this to Binance, but in general it should work. We made quite some progress. Testing is done now. It's more about technical stuff. And yeah, so what I can say for you who like also in crypto, I mean, don't take my opinion as financial advice, because nobody ever know exactly what's happened. If you know exactly, you know, like you can become billionaire, because if you know price and time, you know, like I can build you a very cheap construct with options or something like that where you need much capital and can make $1 billion profit. So that's why nobody really knows. But Honestly, it doesn't look so good. There's some people looking into such theories like Wyckoff distribution pattern, which like quite of fit to this kind of chart that we kind of losing. Anyway, we had like quite some decline of crypto, and hopefully we get some release rally. For our algo would be best if it continue. In my opinion, we going to the 105 to 115 ish zone, like somewhere here. You never know it, but only to break the current momentum on the market, we really have to find new highs and find some more positive on the market. And there are a lot of bad rumors. So, for example, with the Fed, there's a lot of chaos. So one part of the Fed don't want to cut interest rate, which is somehow right because the inflation is rising, but on the other side, the economy of the US is getting worse and worse, and this can lead to big rate cuts. So if the Fed cuts like 50 bips or even more in one meeting, most people think they will be super bullish because like a lot of money in the market, but actually it's super bearish because they only make it because the economy is in collapse mode, and they're trying to do like immediate stuff. So it's like panic, like they're having panic, and if they go to panic, it means like all the stock market also have a high chance to go down, and we are highly correlated with the stock market, and this is not really good looking good then. Also, there are some rumors that MicroStrategy, which holding a lot of Bitcoin and has like quite a high stock value, that some guys like JP Morgan trying to short that company and basically selling Bitcoin at the same time. And with that, they can make a couple of billion if they destroy MicroStrategy, and they will send Bitcoin to 5,000 or zero or whatever. So that can all happen, but nothing must happen. But in general, it's quite a risky market. So if you have some crypto position, and we go back to above 100,000, 105 or so, you can think of taking here like a part of your profits, the close part of your crypto position go to US dollar, because it's very, very likely that we go deeper, and it's also very, very likely that we go deeper than where we are now, also very deeper, like maybe to 30-ish, 20-ish, below 20-ish thousand. And of course, if you then have cash, you can buy. But of course, it's quite difficult to find the right decision. That's why we have like our algo, which in general generates more alpha, and in general should catch that. So we in like US dollar and taking the profit. And if you compare it with the market lost. So you always look like on the trading. Okay, if the market lose like 40% and you make a profit, that's of course awesome. But at least you should lose less than the market. And if the market makes a 40%, you should make more profit than the market, right? So you should like they make more than 40%. Otherwise, you can just buy the market. You can just buy Bitcoin and buy and hold strategy. So yeah, so this is what we plan to do. On the new algo which we deploy, hopefully we can sort out things in the next couple of weeks. Maybe in December. There should be not much of hurry now because we are having like good positions. They're riding up, right? You saw like the XLM position got now closed, like a 20,000 profit took out, but in general, like we're making more and more profits, and we're riding now the wave. So if the price goes up, we're making some good profits, and in right time, then we're adding additional algo to less suffer on such flat markets. Okay, that's all from my side. Then I wish you a successful week.
Thank you so much, Sven, for a very detailed, run through everything. It's always amazing to hear from you and hear your insights. So thank you again. And ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining. That's it from us today. And we look forward to hosting you again next week, and hopefully with some more alpha. But in the meantime, go mess with the platform, sign up for things that you need to and that you are missing out on. Join the Telegram channel, and we will be back next week with more alpha. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. Have a lovely night.